actually have some cool games. So, this is a best of 7. And once again, well, technically representing Platinum Esports, but for Platinum Heroes, the bottom left side of Solaris, we have our red Zerg, the Polish Snogstar. Team HyperONE fielded some Koreans, and this is one of them. It is going to be Stephen Curry, or Curry for short. Curry for short, or Corey for short. Alright, so we are going to have some fun over here. Hopefully that is going to be the case. And we'll see what these two players are going to be up to, as we have a hatch block coming up from Snogstar. From Curry. So Snogstar will be forced to take that triangle third base as the natural. And other than that, I suppose it is going to be all the regular stuff that we have. Okay, so we're going to have the standard hatch gas pool opener. The only thing that happened was a hatch block. We have regular low ground wall from the Protoss. Potentially we're going to have a Nexus, then the core. That should be the standard from both players. Okay, Curry goes for the Nexus. And now we're going to... Ooh, look at this little trick here. Just mine some minerals just to be efficient. This bro would AFK anyways for a tad bit. Now, there's a couple of ways that this can be played out. We could see Twilight opener. We could see a Stargate opener. We could see multiple variations of that Stargate opener. The second pylon is going to be at home. That is going to be the crucial thing that we are not going to see a proxy just now. Now, obviously, that could change during the course of this game, as the first two queens and the two pairs of lings are also on the production tab. And there we go, there we see the Adept fired up as well as the Stargate. No warp gate yet, so usually that means, in case Snogstar is aware of this. Okay, now Snogstar will see that there is some spinning glowing thingies going around on that cyber core. That means warp gate just started. And at this point the Zerg player can kind of like surely assume that this is going to be a Stargate opener. There's no such thing as like giga fakes and everything. And now we're going to have the confirmation here, as this first Adept is not yet out. Oh, wait a second, sorry. The first Adept is out and the second one is also at home. Sorry about that, I actually missed it. I was like, wait a second, there should be another one. And we're gonna have a Void Ray first. Obviously this one can go into some kind of an extra tech, like we could have an Oracle coming after that. We can have two Oracles after that. We'll see how it goes. Now, there was some scouting here, and I believe... Okay, Snogstar did not see the first unit coming out, so, or being started yet. Adepts are going to cancel the Shade. Obviously, there's no reason to actually finish it. It would have been kind of a certain death for those Adepts. Maybe not, but speed is done, so... Curry needs to be careful. These Adepts are in quite a lot of trouble. Let's see if it's gonna go down. One of the Adepts will fall for sure. The other Adept will be able to handle this, and the Link is going to get away. Now we have two extra Links over here, but I'm not sure if this is going to be enough still. Single Link is also not going to be enough. Now another set of Links, another 4 Links. That's already... Ooh, and we have 16 Links off of 31 drones. 12 already gone down. Now the Void Ray will show its ugly face. The Overlord went down. And will we see a Link Flood? I believe we are going to see some kind of a Link Flood. We have a Roach Horn coming up. We have a single Extractor. We have 2 Spores. Potentially, yeah. That is going to be exactly what I expected. Spawn the third, spawn the main. No Spore in the natural position, which is actually the third base right now. There's no drones to defend yet. And now we have, we talked about it before, and there's no scout on that proxy gateway, so that gateway will serve as probably nothing game ending, but it will serve as a warp in location, and a fast one, by the way. So you can warp in a couple of adepts over there, maybe some DTs in the future if it's not going to get scouted, but potentially it's going to be scouted. I don't think StarCraft will take this 6 o'clock base, as this is probably the better fourth, at least in my opinion, depending on where you want to pressure. If you want to expand further away from the Protoss or closer to the Protoss, obviously the distance from this base to this one is going to be a bit shorter, especially if you take down the rocks. Now this Nexus is actually in trouble. Oh, and look at that, there's the Queens as well. And now we have everything flooding across the map, and we have two Roaches, two Ravagers are morphing as well. Glaive is going to finish in just now. And this is a mighty tough position for Curry, as Curry is actually in some deep trouble. But on the other side, the Adepts are actually doing a lot of massacring, and it's going to be 4 probes so far. Let's see. Oh, he's targeting the Queen. I'm not sure if that is the best option here. These Queens are going to go in. They're going to basically just start chipping away at these Adepts. There's no transfuse for some time already. A couple of Zealots are also warped in over here. Don't forget we have that proxy gateway that's going to serve as counter pressure. Now the drones need to be pulled. There's still 36 workers for Snogstar, beautifully protecting the few that he has. I think that is basically a very, very nice hold so far from Snogstar. And we have a couple of Queens still just chipping away at these Adepts, and oh, these Queens are going to fall because of the shield batteries. And I'm pretty sure battery overcharge, yes, it is still available, and I think Snogstar did not manage to break Curry, and that is going to transition into a very, very difficult game. We have no road speed. We have the fleet beacon coming up super quickly. 7 minutes already, and could be a couple of things. Could be carriers, could be speed rays, or yeah, I think I can call them speed rays, the Chad rays. Anyway, so we are going to have a bit of a pause here in the action, or maybe not. Curry is actually sending in a couple of those Adepts. If this finishes, yeah, that's not going to be a good one. The Void Ray is going to chip away at these Overlords. Is there any Queens left? There's a single Queen, 3 more on the way. No 4 base yet, so that is going to be very, very painful. But also Curry is just now retaking that 3rd base. Queen is chipping away at that Void Ray. And there's no creep over here, so that's something that Snogstar needs to be aware of. Okay. We are now heading into somewhat of a mid-game, I suppose, or maybe just skipping it all the way to the late game. We have carriers on top of carriers. Potentially gonna have 2 carriers at once, but the problem is the 2-base economy is not going to cut it that well. Double Stargate carrier is just going to be quite painful without the 3rd base. Even with the 3rd base, you need to be very, very careful, and you need to turtle up. Now the question is, how much does Snogstar know? Nothing. Okay, so that is going to be quite painful. Finally finds out about this this proxy location. It's going to take a 4th base just now. This is a rather late 4th base. Obviously, the semi all-in, if we can call it that. A bit of a Hearthstone style of calling that the semi all-in. I actually love how he just calls it a semi all-in. Like, is it an all-in or not, right? But I guess a semi all-in is like, in some weird cases, you can just transition out of it. Overlords are going to drop some poop on the ground to link without tumors. Link the bases without tumors. And now a couple of Roaches are moving across, but the Void Ray will spot that. And the rocks are not being taken down, so that's going to be very, very, very painful. Yeah, 2 Void Rays actually. Let's see if that's going to be enough. I believe it's going to be enough. Oh, a couple of Ravagers are being found here in the center of the map. The problem is Snogstar has no idea and has nothing against those carriers. That's 4 carriers, and soon it's gonna be +1. Not soon, already. Void Rays are going to chip away. Ooh, that Overlord is actually straying away from the pack, and it's not going to be a welcome change. Here comes a recall. The 2 Void Rays are actually going to make it much easier to defend, but these carriers are always going to win against these roaches sooner or later. And there's a GG. Snogstar has to tap out. And Curry takes the 1-0 lead in this best of 7 WTL style show match. We're going into the second map, which is going to be Alcyone. We're going to try to catch up somewhat fast. The first 2 sets are replays, so we're not going to lose time, so we actually make it into the third one. Alright, once again, game number 2 in this best of 7. We have Snogstar in the bottom left side, and we have Curry in the top right side for Team HyperONE. Once again, this is Platinum Heroes versus Team HyperONE WTL style show match, best of 7, sponsored by none other than HyperONE. Huge shout out to HyperONE for making these awesome Platinum Hyper Cups and other events. Okay, will we see any kind of gold-based shenanigans? It's probably something that we're always interested when it comes to Alcyone. Okay, we have a spawning pool and a gas, so is this going to be some kind of a roach pressure? So we have 17 workers, and I am curious. We're not going over 17 as of now. Okay, there's the gold base. All right, I dig it. I dig it. Now, obviously, Curry should be aware that this. Okay. So he's already aware that there's no base. It has to be. There we go. There's the hatch. Problem is, this hatchery doesn't see the probe. So the probe was here, and this hatchery doesn't see the probe yet. Has no vision. Not enough vision. That is going to be quite painful, because now the Protoss knows the Zerg could actually believe that it is going to be a scout from the Protoss, but obviously there's no 100% confirmation. I mean, this map is probably like one of the most common to take the gold base on. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Stargate once again, as there's no warp gate, so that is probably the bread and butter opener of the Protoss. Like, still, it was when I started. It became an absolute must, and then it actually just well, I'm saying it became an absolute must when the double Stargate Void Ray meta was in full swing. Okay, we have 6 lings actually. Oh, these adepts are actually moving to their demise. Wait a second. Where's the lings? Okay, they're fast as hell. Speed is done 30 seconds earlier. That's going to be a couple of adepts potentially going down. No, that's not going to be the case. Now the adepts are going back in. Now, as a follow-up, I'm curious what we're going to see. We have a 3rd queen preparing and a bailing nest. These gold minerals are going to prove rather useful. Snogstar on 25 workers currently. Let's see if he's going to produce more. 2 larvae available, and we're going to have more lings. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a bailing bust. Question is that going to be enough? Now, he sees that there's a Stargate producing a Void Ray, and I'm curious what we're going to to see out of that. Oh, double gold. Okay. This is quite a greedy opener so far from Snockstar. Third base is coming up. Okay, Snockstar will lose that Overlord. 2 more on the way, but quite late. And now Curry's actually going to spot this base. I hope this base is a fake and it's gonna get cancelled. Okay, the links are going to deal a lot of damage here, but there's 3 adepts. Maybe I was quick to call it. Okay, 1 adept, 2 adepts are gone, potentially 3. Potentially 3, okay, it's not the case anymore. There's a couple of Banelings here. Oh, but the Banelings are getting spotted. Now the Queens are moving forward. And this Void Ray will not stand too much of a chance. Is there a battery? There's no battery, and the zone is going to be literally devastated by those Banelings. Okay, that's nice. We have a couple of probes lining up here. That's 3 probes already, but a lot of them are softened up. And that's 9 probes. Curry's still ahead, but that's 12 probes. That's going to be... Ooh, that's super painful. Soon, Snockstar will be ahead, and I believe this might just be a dub here. Curry tried to go for a fast food beacon, and second Void Ray is prepared. Or sorry, rather third. There's going to be enough. Cybercoat goes down, so that's going to limit the tech options, but obviously the most that you want to do here is basically just go for that fleet beacon and just produce something out of it. And there's a GG. Snockstar will take game number 2. That was actually a beautiful Bane bust. Honestly, with double gold. I think you could have transitioned even after that. No battery was probably the demise. Okay, just clarifying the stuff. They're already in game, so we're gonna move on and just cast the second set, which is going to be between Goblin and 3-point. It's gonna be PVZ again. Oh. If we're going for the PT Heroes standpoint, then we saw a ZVP. All right. Score is 1-1, and the map is Raduzet Station, or Roduzet Station. I believe that's the pronunciation, but someone Swedish in the chat could actually point me out. So we had an extractor trick, potential 15 hatch coming up from Team HyperONE's 3-point. As is going up against none other. Can I just... Okay, never mind. It's not working. Sorry about that. I actually fat fingered one of the cameras. For Platinum Heroes, it is Goblin. The bottom left side, and if I were to say something, I'd say these players are close to each other. In terms of MMR, I believe there's like 100 or 200 MMR difference, which at this level should not exactly be too much of a difference. Okay, so this map is actually quite painful for Zerg, as Protoss has the free 3-base setup, and the 4th is actually not that difficult to take, and the 4-base Protoss is quite scary, let's be honest about that. And a lot of Skytoss play, but we saw actually let's do a sellout thing here. So a couple of weeks ago there was a clan war, and my teammate from Platinum Heroes, Aras, played a ZVP, and he had a master class of a ZVP, and that was impeccable, honestly. Like, it was some Swarmhost shenanigans, but it was super nice, and it was close to perfection, honestly, at least in my opinion. It was one of the most beautiful games of ZVP that I've casted. You can find that on my YouTube channel, !casting, if you're interested. Also !YT, abbreviation from YouTube, if you're interested in some of my diamond gameplay shenanigans. In the meantime, we see the third base being taken quite early by 3-point, so that is going to give, like, the timings are going to give Goblin some information. And this is a gasless opener, so that's also important to mention. That was a 15 hatch with a spawning pool relatively, I believe it was earlier. It wasn't even earlier, I think. Trying to figure it out. Was this a 3 hatch before pool? Wait a second. The problem is I don't see enough 3 hatch before pool, and kind of got carried away. But let's see what this first adept can actually do. As we have 4 links to defend, Shade is going to move forward, the links will follow. Okay, he's going to cancel it. And now he's going to go in. Nicely doing the support trick. Now Goblin will send the Shade in. Let's see if he's going to finish. I don't think he should. Oh, he's going to finish it. Okay, we have a drone being morphed into a spore. And the Oracle is on the way. I believe this spore can finish. I'm pretty sure. As we have one more spore over here. And the spore in the main base coming up as well. And Goblin deciding to take this out to third base. Which is a bit open, if you ask me. But it's gonna be quite important. Sorry about that. Had to alt tab a tad bit. The first Oracle is going to move across the map, and Goblin is actually known for his quite good Oracle control. It's gonna spot another gas, I believe. No, he did not. Okay, so it's not gonna give away too much. Now this Oracle could just come in, place a stasis trap or something. Never mind, it's going to try and take something. Ooh, it has a single kill, and Goblin not really finding anything with this first Oracle. Second Oracle will stay at home potentially, as he might just be afraid of 3 points links if he is going to commit to any. Problem is, this is a huge map. The lair is coming up, and we have... Ooh, hold on a minute. Okay, so we're gonna go up to 4 gas and lair without speed. Without speed, so that's gonna be quite a greedy build, if you ask me. We have a Roach Horn and we have an Evo Chamber, so I suppose this is gonna be a safety Roach Horn. I wouldn't mind if 3-point would go for some Mutas or something along those lines. We'll see after the lair finishes, because the lair will actually dictate what the Zerg is gonna do. Obviously, hatchery tech is very, very limited. It dies to probably most things. Like, it's so weird. Like, you rarely see anything based off of hatch tech. We have 6 gases. That's fast 6 gases. Okay. When you see more gases than minutes elapse in the game, you know that there's gonna be something magnificent. We have Roach Speed, and we're gonna play Roach Ravager, by the looks of it. I'm quite excited to see what's gonna happen here. There's a Hydrodon coming up. Alright, I kinda like this. I dig it. I absolutely dig it. +1 for Goblin will finish. Overseer, in the meantime, will actually scout what's up here. We have a Robo, and Blink is also on the way, and +2 is on the way. This might look like this is only +1, but this is already +2, so Goblin on top of his things, as well as the charge. And this build is gonna be quite literally painful. All these queens are actually gonna go down. 2 queens go down. But the roaches will actually secure the defense for 3-point. These oracles could go in and just cause some chaos. Now the question is, what are we going to see from these? Goblin will split those zealots, probably for vision. A lot of roaches defending. Okay, there's a stasis trap. That's a lot of damage taken on that oracle. Ooh, these zealots are actually being sent into their death. They will die. I'm not sure if they die for ire, but looks like their life was for hire, not for ire, as they were hired to do some damage, and they did not actually do that great. Now we have Goblin down more than 60 supply, and this looks like a very, very painful game number 1 for Goblin. A lot of stasis traps. This could actually prove quite okay. That's the... yeah, that's not even decent. Goblin steps forward to actually try to just get the target fire on top of that roach, not to detonate one more of those stasis traps. A couple of Ravagers have been morphed, and there's only a single Immortal. There's a couple of force fields in this, and Goblin will start... ooh, did he lose the Oracle? I think he lost the Oracle. If I'm not mistaken, he lost the Oracle. Am I crazy? Lost something. Maybe he lost... maybe he lost a stasis trap. Okay, never mind. I'm stupid. For some reason, I saw something glowing, and I was like, oh, that's the Oracle. No, that's not. It was the stasis trap. One more stasis trap over here. There's no storm, and these are not morphed into Archons. Battery overcharge will be committed to this, but it's gonna get piled down, so that's not going to do anything. But that's a massive stasis trap. A couple of units have been trapped over there. The Hydras need to be dealt with for those Oracles to actually have any chance. But Goblin is holding. How is Goblin doing it? There's 3 Immortals. Storm is on the way. We have an Archon as well, and a couple of Stalkers with Blink and Charge Lots. This is actually really, really painful for 3-point. Now, these remaining units that were caught in the stasis trap are actually going to cause some chaos as well. But Goblin is so far so good, holding with at some point being down more than 60 supply. That is amazing. I am not sure how Goblin does it, but he also did it against Jimmy Micro. Now is going to step forward. Oh, but the Lynx get all trapped into that stasis ward. And now the Oracles are actually just proving their use, proving that they are the ultimate spellcasters in the early game. The Protoss have literally a Swiss Army knife in their tool set. Now the question is, can Goblin hold on, as 3-point is actually just trying to keep up the pressure. Okay, these Zealots are going to get a couple of units for their trouble. But that's a lot of Immortals. That's 5 Immortals. I don't think you can actually fight into this with Roach Ravager. Like, you need to transition into something, right? There's no Infestation Pit. There is no +2. Like, this is looking like a very, very hard game for 3-point. It's only 74 drones. Probably for a late game you would need at least 50. 90. I wanted to say 15 more than I just wanted to say the 90. Then ended up with 50. But this looks like a hold for Goblin, honestly. Beautiful storms on both sides. Is going to actually try and just deal with both sides of the equation over here. And one of the Immortals will go down for sure. Second Immortal could go down. There's still 4 more Immortals, and there is plenty enough energy for at least one more storm, if not more. These Ravagers will fall due to those Zealots. Zealots do well against those Ravagers. They do badly against Roaches. Obviously, they are there to tank, for Archons, for Immortals, for Stalkers to actually deal with them. The Stalker is actually quite an interesting unit because it does bonus damage to armored, but also the Roach does bonus damage to armored, and the Stalker is armored, so that's something that they kind of like have pretty much the same use. Well, not the same use, I guess. I would lie, because the Roach is first of all ground only, anti-ground only. But Goblin will see that this is only +1 missile attack. There's no Carapace upgrades. Hive is just now on the way. Lurker Den is also on the way. Lings are actually going to try and deal with this barricade. Now the problem is, even though if you deal with this barricade, you still need to mine out those minerals, and these are 10 mineral patches. The Zealot finally gonna go down. That means that finally we're going to have some vision denied on the side of Goblin. Beautiful stasis trap once again. Traps those lings. Oh, okay. That one ling is actually very, very good. Literally 1 HP ling. Literally 1 HP ling, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, we have a couple of Zealots and Stalkers just chilling over here. Potentially gonna get this Overlord. Not gonna be the case. It's gonna try and run away. It's gonna get cornered. But not before he takes down a couple of things. Oh, he's gonna recall. Okay. Managed to recall most of those units. And this is what, 70 mortals. 70 mortals. Immortals, 4 High Templars, more being warped in. I suppose it's gonna be Archons. And now he's moving forward and needs to cancel those spies. These spies were not in time, and his base is gonna go down for sure. The 5th base be doomed. And that is 4 base versus 4 base, which is not ideal for Zerg. Not at all. The gold base is not being taken, so far this is quite painful for 3 point. Goblin looks to turn this thing around from down 60 supply to actually pulling it back, being maxed out. Tad bit up in supply, not that much obviously. And Goblin already has a 5th base. That we have to mention. I was saying 4 base versus 4 base, but like yeah, I forgot that Goblin took the 5th as well. It's early, guys. It's early. Usually I cast sometime around probably like well late in the afternoon for sure. So like quite early for me in the day. But I'm very, very happy for this opportunity. I'm very, very happy that I am actually allowed to cast this, because these are super, super nice games. A couple of Lurkers and Hydras will actually go through and just put some pressure between the 3rd and the natural. That in base, well, let's call it the pocket base, is actually going to feel good being taken a bit later for Goblin. And let's remember, Goblin has a potential to recall if things get dicey, but this Nexus is going to fall. A lot of gateways are unpowered. Question is, how many gateways? You have 9 more gateways and 2 more on the way. Only 8 remaining. 3 more, 5 more on the way. I suppose Goblin is going to try and warp in everything. He's going to take another Nexus to 6th base, at the 6th base location. Similar amount of workers are getting the deck right now. But there's a lot of full energy Templars that are actually going down to the high ground Lurkers. Ooh, that was quite painful. And Goblin is actually losing more workers. That's 50 probes being lost by Goblin. 3 point is still a supply block. Goblin is not. There is another base up in the top left side for Goblin. And these Archons will manage to actually clean up this base. And the carriers have no answers so far. Like, the only way is if the carriers die, but the carriers will not die. It's going to be 2 carriers with a couple of Immortals. The problem is, there's also Oracles, so there is potential for detection. And if the Hive goes down, it's going to be rather painful for 3 point. Storms are coming up, and just, you know, every single Hydra will matter. And that means if the GG is typed out, then I guess we have our winner. Goblin just turns this game around. Very, very nice attempt from 3 point, honestly, if you ask me. But in the end, Goblin will take it. We're moving on to game number 2, which is going to be Golden Aura. Okay. And spawning in the top left side, The winner of last game, the Croatian Platinum Heroes representative, it is Goblin as our blue Protoss. And his opponent, the bottom right side, the Korean 3-point for team HyperONE as our purple Zerg. We have a bit of an interesting map. So this map, honestly, I personally don't like this map. So I'm not sure why. I just feel like it's uncomfortable for Zerg. I believe after 4 bases, the next ones are quite far away, and late game seems rather uncomfortable to play, especially when you have this this little thing over here. This base is super far away. This base is super far away. So I guess you can take like 5 bases, but if it's like similar amount of bases, then you're basically screwed, I feel like. I'm gonna have hatch gas pool coming up from 3-point. Goblin will go for the standard Nexus before core. Actually, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a standard depth opener, as we are going to move over towards a more standard opener in game number 2 compared to game number 1. Meantime, I'm trying to also check my Discord because we're having another stream, so okay, we're fine. No one that I was expecting to message me, so it's all good. It's important to actually keep up, because after this game we should go into the third set, which is going to be played live, so hopefully everything is going to be fine. Okay, 3-point is going to try to go for the third base, but it's not going to be able to do so. It's gonna move that drone back and just immediately move out a second drone towards the other side. Now obviously Goblin will scout this, and the Stargate is halfway done. We had a Stalker first opener, and now we have an Adept. Okay, I suppose we're going to see a snipe on this Overlord. That's great. Oh, maybe this Overlord can actually make it. I think it's gonna make it. Yeah, it's gonna make it. So we have 2 Overlords put to safety. Obviously that first Oracle can stay at home and just basically just move away, move over there. I believe you can actually just stay here with the Stalker. Full wall off coming up for Goblin. We have a couple of Lings coming up, and that's a lot of Lings actually. Hold on a moment. Hold the phone. That's gonna be 30 Lings in total. 30 Lings committed to just trying to do something out of this game. We're going to have the Oracle just activating the Pulsar Beam, obviously. It's not the end of the world, but now these Lings have to run. A couple more Lings are going to be taken down, hopefully. And Goblin is out of energy. This is going to be very painful for Goblin, and now actually the Link flood is in full swing. 20 more Links coming in. Does 3-point have what it takes? Goblin with a beautiful rewall behind this. Nicely done here, and the Void Ray is coming up. The Oracle will actually take him down faster, but it's going to be a Link for a limited time. That means if there's no energy, the Oracle cannot actually activate the Pulsar Beam. Oh, can Goblin actually hold this? There's more Links coming in. Is this going to be the game-winning move for 3-point? 3-point is trying to just get in somehow. Another Cyber Core. We have more Cyber Cores actually being put down here. Oh, but the Link flood the floodgates are open. This is going to be mighty tough here. We have 2 Oracles. Do they have enough energy? Do they have any energy whatsoever? One of the Oracles have enough energy, but is that going to be enough? That's 4 probes going down. 7, 8, 9, 10. And the link flood still continues. Goblin is losing everything, and he's losing it super fast. 12 probes going down, and this could be the game-winning move for 3-point. 3-point just doesn't stop with the link flood, and he's trying to just move around. Oh, that's 24 probes. Goblin on 16 workers versus a 23 of 3-point. This is insane, and 3-point is just completely flooding links one after the other, one round after the other. Yes, Queens is injecting Goblin with a heroic defense for some time, but the link flood just did not stop. Just didn't stop. He's trying to actually micro his workers. He's trying to do his best, but I think he knows it. We know it. There's a GG. That means we equalize the series once again. Okay, let's request to join the party for our third game. Ooh, finally, we arrived. We are moving into game number 5. Sorry about that. Had to think like, okay, best of 7. We had 4 games. That's game number 5. In the top left side of Oceanborn, we have the new addition, our Russian Terran. It is Nicorakt, representing the Platinum Heroes, and his opponent, honestly, hands down, my favorite Terran with some weird builds, or the quote-unquote misplacing that supply depot and that barracks as well. For Team HyperONE, our red Terran, it is Han Mono. Oh my lord, Han Mono in action. If you missed it, should be sorry for it. Yesterday we casted the Patches 6K Open number 3 finals. Finally got to that as well on stream. We had a huge raid from the man, the myth, the legend, Rotterdam, and just in time, right after I started running ads to disable the pre-rolls so we can cast in peace. We had actually 2 series. We had a Protoss versus Random, and we had a Protoss versus Terran between Forjumi and Han Mono. And Han Mono, what a gamer, what a giga chat of a player, honestly. Like, all my respect to that man. Like, literally just bringing out, not being afraid of anything whatsoever to speak of. He's just bringing the weird builds one after the other. He doesn't care. He's like basically just experimenting with everything. Like, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how brave and bold he is, and I just love it. I honestly just love it, and it's fantastic. Yeah, nothing else to say. Just like the Dota player, the Chinese Dota player, nothing to say. Okay, SCV and the Reaper will actually move forward, and that was a brilliant move. That was a brilliant move by Han Mono, actually just massacring the Reaper of Nicorakt. Nicorakt just not aware of this type of shenanigan. And now we have a double Cyclone coming up. We have a single Cyclone on the side of Nicorakt. Command centers are being placed at relatively the same time. Builds differ just a bit. We have a tech lab as well. No starport yet on the side of Han Mono. Starport coming up for Nicorakt. I'm curious, will we see 2 extra Cyclones? That is the question. I believe we're going to see 2 extra Cyclones, right? Cyclone Marauder? Okay, that seems kind of wild, honestly. Concussive as well. I am absolutely clueless on what this build is. I know one thing, and one thing only. I love it. Let's see if Han Mono actually gonna get supply blocked or not, because this is... Okay, never mind. The command center has finished, so he's gonna avoid the supply block. Both players, actually. And Nicorakt is down in supply. He's down in army supply. That reactor, the Cyclone production, is actually going to be very, very useful for Han Mono. Couple of Marauders moved forward already. Oh, couple. Single Marauder? No, 2 marauders. Okay. I knew I saw a second one. Okay, interference matrix might not finish actually this game. Honestly, if this goes on like this. We have concussive ready. The cyclones will lock on top of that. Actually, oh wait, never mind, they cannot lock on, but yeah, they can start attacking it, and this is actually looking pretty decent for Nicorak. Oh, okay, Hanmano is actually microing like a beast, but he's going to lose most of his cyclones. And what was that actually? That was 3 cyclones for 3 cyclones, but actually it was 2 Reapers, 3 cyclones so far. Well, 1 Reaper for the 3 cyclones and 1 more and 2 more Marauders actually. Okay, 1 more Marauder is going to show up, and Hanmano is just microing a bit better, I suppose. Double kill. Oh, actually, yeah, I suppose it's a double kill, or how do you call it actually? I'm not exactly sure how you call that. Bunker is going to come down for Nicorak. He has a Marine as well, but I'm not sure if that's going to help. Okay, 2 more Cyclones coming up. Obviously, we don't really have the potential to see a Cyclone speed upgrade, the Hurricane Thrusters. Stim is on the way for Nicorak. He's going down the more traditional path. Starport is just now going to finish for Hanmano, but the 3rd command center is also finishing for Hanmano. And actually, hold on a second. Am I crazy? Okay, he's going to have it on the spot. But now let's go back into the action. The auto turrets are actually doing a lot of damage. We cannot actually forget about that. It's really, really important to note that this is actually a lot of damage coming down from the auto turrets. Oh, but the target fire is just not there. That's going to be a lot of lock-ons. Do we have a tank already out? No tank on the side of Nicorak. It's going to lose a couple more SCVs, and now lose another Cyclone, but lose a Raven. It's going to lose a Raven. Now the SCVs are being pulled, and the SCVs are going down. That's going to be a lot of SCVs missing for Nicorak. And Hanmano is actually just dominating Nicorak so far. He can actually just produce a lot of SCVs. That's going to be 3 SCVs at a time. 4th base is going to finish rather fast, and he's just pressuring and doing a lot of stuff. And I think Nicorak is just dead, guys. I'm not exactly sure, but I think Nicorak is just dead. Obviously, this tank needs a single shot. Okay. He might just lose this tank, honestly. If this is microed well, never mind. Those Marines have stim already, so they're going to just charge in and just do something already about those 2 Cyclones. Those pesky Cyclones. How dare they? But that's going to net a 25 supply lead, more than 25, close to 30 supply lead for Hanmano as the dust settles. 4th base is also going to be a orbital. Okay, I dig it, I dig it. That's going to be 1 extra mule, some more scans. And Hanmano is actually playing a mech game. We have the double armory coming down. And Nicorak is going to go for the good old bio play. Now, I'm not really sure if this is going to be viable or not. Problem is, he's not reproducing SCVs. He might just be all in, honestly, at this point. He might just pick up and just do something about it. Let's see if that's going to be the case. The one thing that is actually bad against about this mech army is if you don't have the numbers or the mobility, one of the 2, if not both, then you're just going to be stuck on one side, and that is going to be really, really painful, because now I believe Nicorak is going to try and just move basically in. Oh, but that's good. Oh, that's going to be so painful. That's going to be so painful. Hanmano might just snipe these Medivacs. Oh, he has to drop out. Okay, just boosts away. Luckily, the boost was not used beforehand, so now the sensor tower is going to help out a lot. This is so far such a banger of a TVT, honestly. It's one of my favorite favorite matchups all of a sudden, honestly, if Hanwado is playing, by the way. Like, whoever knows me, they should know that, yeah, Hanwado is, first of all, my favorite tank. Oh, he's going to drop out, Nicorak, but this is going to be enough. He's going to try to carpet bomb with those Marines and tanks, but everything is getting massacred right now. It's going to be a double tank siege, but actually, hold on a second. Nicorak is... Oh, he's losing the tanks due to those landed Vikings, and now the Marines are actually permanently stimmed to death. And there's a GG. Hanwado will take game number 1 and puts Team HyperONE on match point. That was actually super solid. Let's see what the second map is going to be. I am very happy to see this TVT unfold. I know I guested Nicorak a lot back in the CSO days. During CSO Cup, he participated in quite a lot of those. And I also managed to catch Hanwado here and there. Hanwado, I think the first time I managed to cast him was either the Dan and Dave cash grab or the sniper StarCraft League. One of the two. All right. US West is going to be the server, by the way. I personally have 170 ping towards that server, so it's quite difficult. Nicorak in Russia, Hanwado in Korea. So the NA server has to be the choice. I'm not sure what the pings are for these players. But our last map, potentially last map, our 6th map, it's gonna be Hecate. Spawning at the bottom left side for Platinum Heroes. Backs against the wall. Let's see if we can bring it back. Give him your energy. It is Nicorak. And for Team HyperONE in the top right side, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Hanwado. Score is a 3-2 for Team HyperONE. Just beautiful trades in games 1 and in matches 1 and 2, trading 1 map each, scoring 1 point, each player scoring 1 point for the team so far. Well, except for Nicorak. Nicorak will have the chance to actually change that and just score a point on the board for himself actually, and just equalize the series. And if that happens, we're gonna go to game number 7. And game number 7 will be played on Golden Aura. We're curious who is gonna be sent out for that one. We're gonna see another weird placement of this barracks. I'm pretty sure there's a method to the madness of Hanwado. 100% sure. SCV is going to scout. Okay, it's going to drop the factory. What are the chances that Hanwado opens like this every single time, and this is the standard for him in TVT? I mean, there's a lot of new Cyclone shenanigans. Will this be... There we go, that's going to be a reactor. And that means it's going to be somewhat of an interesting thing. This time though, Nicorak is... Oh wait, never mind. He sends the Reaper across, and now the SCV is going to be super annoying. Obviously, if you get hit by that SCV, it's gonna be quite annoying. But I think Nicorak has this. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, a bit of a misclick on the side of Nicaract, I believe. Because that shouldn't have been a kill. I think there was like a missed attack there with that Reaper. But this time at least the Reaper doesn't survive on either side. So it's probably a bit better for both players. But the problem is, Nicaract has no confirmation that this is the same opener, because the last time we had a super delayed starport. Right now we have a somewhat relatively standard timing on that starport, or I guess standard for this build. Hearthstone also always uses the as soon as money allows it term. That Hellion is just gonna go down. It's gonna be quite painful, and one more Hellion is in production. No Cyclone yet. That's gonna be more Reapers as well. Do I like this? I don't think I like this, honestly. I mean, you're gonna have a bunch of Reapers and Cyclones? Okay. I'm open for everything. Okay, that's something we need to clarify. Like, I'm more than happy to see anything that is out of the ordinary, or at least a bit out of the ordinary. There's a Liberator coming up from Nicaract. Like, obviously these players are around 6k, 5.7 to 6k and more, so they have plenty of builds, most likely. Well, especially we know Hanmano is a specialist at weird games. Now he has 4 Cyclones. There's a Raven as well, and Interference Matrix coming up. We have Tech Lab on the starport and the factory for Nicaract, and we're most likely going to go into tank production. And yep, there we go, the Raven Interference Matrix combo just coming up for Nicaract as well. But Hanmano already on to the Ravens, and the Matrix will finish upgrading, and that means can you actually lock down Hellions? No, these Cyclones are actually not going to fare that well, or maybe... Okay, these Reapers are going to be quite annoying. Obviously, the Reapers are going to be much faster than the Cyclones without the speed upgrade. And these Reapers can regen, actually. The Reapers can regenerate HP as well. Alright. The advantage of this Reaper squad is that they can just jump in whenever they want. Let's see, he needs to drop some auto turrets. One more Cyclone is going to go down, but a couple of Reapers are also going to fall. So far, 4 Reapers and 5 Hellions have fallen, and the Liberator as well. Not sure what happened to the Lib, but yeah. Hanmano is taking the third command center. Nicaract will take it on location. These Reapers will still offer some map control. No, unless they get sacked, then they're not going to offer anything whatsoever to speak of. That's 4 Ravens on the side of Hanmano. Cat Rock impression? Maybe? I don't think that's the case. If we see planetary rushes and stuff like that, like a bunch of PFs on the 3rd, on the 4th, at the entrance of the natural, at the ramp over here, just mass PF, turrets, Ravens. Pretty much it. That's pretty much it, right? Okay. So there's two Ravens here. Oh, I'm not exactly a fan of how Nicaract is actually how Nicaract is situated in this game. It's gonna have, this is rather dangerous, just moving out on the map against Cyclones. Oh, and Hanmano is actually going to spot it. Okay, it's quite close. It was quite close, honestly. I was trying to move the army where he thinks that there would be some movement from those Marines. Oh my god! No! That was so painful. That was extremely painful. Oh, Nicorak just lost a full medevac worth of supply. That's never ever what you want to see. Now Mono is actually positioning himself to attack here. Third base is out already and starting to saturate it. I believe Nicorak is on a better economy off of 3 bases. Okay. We have a 4th command center coming up. 4th just started for Nicorak. Nicorak is down in bases, or soon to be down in bases. Has a tad bit of a better mining, and that anti-armor missile is doing a lot of good damage. Indirectly, of course. It's not that it damages, but amplifies the damage. And since the Marines are actually shooting more times than the other units, their DPS is actually going to skyrocket. Like every single attack is going to be amplified due to that reduction in armor. Nicorak is going to try and move off this ram, but one of those medevacs is going to fall. Oh, mass interference matrices versus only 2 on the side of Nicorak. There's one more tank firing in the backline. One of those tanks is going to go down. One of them will just now siege up. It's going to go down as well. Question is this going to be enough? And there is the GG. Han Mono closes the series. That means Team HyperONE will take it. Came for the crop.